Hello, welcome to Valerian Bay. I'm Suzanne and I'm so pleased that you're here today. So, are you either dodging your emotions because you just don't want to feel them? I'm talking about the negative ones, the anger, the sadness, the hurt, the pain, the resentment, the jealousy, trying to constantly dodge all of that. Or are you getting completely overwhelmed by emotion where you are just being utterly controlled by your emotion because you're feeling it and then reacting, and it's upsetting your life and it's upsetting your relationships, because it will if it's uncontrolled in that fashion and it's bubbling over because you are so full of these different emotions. It will damage your relationships, if not destroying them. Where we want to be is somewhere right in the middle, which very few people are. So we'll talk a little bit about emotional intelligence, which is basically the concept that you are aware of your emotions, you can observe them, and you aren't ruled by them. Emotional intelligence can leak into the dodging of emotions a little bit, because you can see your emotions, you can understand they're there, and you can go, I don't want to deal with that. That's going to hurt. So we tend to dodge them. However, all that happens is, by dodging them, they layer over layer over layer over layer. They build up and build up over the years because you haven't cleared them. And randomly you'll be going through life. You might have a little quiet moment on a hill where you're looking out over scenery and something will pop into your head from years ago, and you'll be like, what on earth am I thinking about that for? And why am I feeling the emotions that come up with that? And then it's going to kind of ruin your day. And that's because your psyche and your subconscious and unconscious mind want to resolve that. And it'll go, he's having a quiet moment, or she's having a quiet moment. They are having a quiet moment. Now's a good time to resolve this issue. Now's a good time for them to feel this, to address it, to look at it, to understand it, to learn what needs to be learnt from it, and then it'll subside. However, we don't want to do it, so we push it down even more until we become emotionally numb. And we don't just not feel the bad stuff, we don't feel the good stuff either. So my point of this video is to help you to have a happier life. Now, that doesn't mean you need to release all of these negative emotions so that they're overwhelming and you can't go to work, you can't see your friends, they take over your entire life and you can't stop crying for several days. There are so many things that we can do that you don't have to be in that scenario. One of those, if you want to work with me, is called timeline therapy, in which you can clear anger, sadness, fear, hurt and guilt, which are the base foundations for many other emotions. For example, grief, jealousy, different more complex emotions. The basic foundational ones are anger, sadness, fear, hurt and guilt, and the other emotions tend to arrive from those. You can clear those from now all the way back through your life without going into the emotion itself. It's a wonderful thing. I really don't know why everybody's not doing it, because it does like a whole spring clean. Like when you go through your house and you go through all your clothes and you go through all your stuff and you go, I don't want that anymore, don't want that anymore, don't want that anymore, I'm going to put it in a bag, I'm going to put it outside. It's just like that, but for your psyche and for your emotional bucket. You're just clearing your emotional bucket out without having to go into the emotions yourself. So like when you're clearing your clothes out, you don't necessarily have to try them all on. You go, no, I don't want that. It's done. It's not me anymore. You can work with me on that if you go on to www.valerianbaycoaching.com, go on to the contacts, get in touch page, and then fill in the form and we can have a free conversation about how I can help you. However, in the meantime, what you can do is, if an emotion comes up, start to recognise it, start to observe it. You can even say in your own mind, I recognise that, I've got sadness. Why have I got sadness coming up? And by not running away from it or drowning in it, the acknowledgement of it, like you would acknowledge a good friend, a best friend, you don't necessarily do what they say. So like if the sadness comes up, you may want to cry if it's an appropriate moment, or you may want to go somewhere and just take yourself out of the way and release some of that emotion. But the fact that you are recognising it at all will help you to then to process it, and the acknowledgement of it helps the other emotions to go, oh, I'm here as well, but in more of a controlled fashion. So you can always journal it out. If you've got stuff that needs to be processed out, you can journal it out and write it all down so that you're not offloading all that emotion onto somebody. You can give the emotions a character, so you can recognise anger, and to break the edges of it so it's not so distressing, you can give it a fun character. Imagine it looks a certain way. You could do that with kids too, and you can give it a funny name like Mr. Grumpy. You know, anything like that will help to break down the intensity of the emotion so that you can deal with it better, so that you can handle it, so you can recognise it, so that you can understand what it's telling you. Because if anger pops up, it's going, I don't like what's going on here, I want you to change something. And that isn't to blame everybody around you for what's happening, it's to go, this is triggering an emotion in me, it's either conflicting with my values or it's pushing a button from something that's happened a long time ago. And then you can either change what's going on, or you can seek help to clear out what it is pushing the button of from history. So I'm just going to leave that with you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Luna obviously is fed up with me making videos already because she wants a fuss and she wants to go and play. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.